Fellow Cross Riverians, my name remains Senator Prince Bassey Otu. I'm humble and privileged to speak to you this morning. I want to thank you so much for your cooperation and support all through the past year. God has granted us the mercy of seeing this new year. I want to wish each and every one of you a happy new year. And in addition, I want your support in the forthcoming elections. I believe fully well that God is going to open a vistas of opportunities and windows for us in different perspectives. All of you should join hands with me to build a greater Cross River. Thank you and Happy New Year.
Okay, so good to have you back. It's still the weekend politics, and that was the New Year message from the APC global candidate in Tufam, Prince Bassey Otu, distinguished senator. Now, I have joining me the media aide of the incoming governor of Cross River State, by God's grace, my friend and my brother, Barrister Ekpenyong Akaba, is a media aide to Prince Otu. Ekpenyong, good evening, and let me start by saying Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, good evening, our very quintessential MC Joy. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
This will be our year of fulfillment.
Amen, amen, definitely. So let's just pick a word or two from that New Year message we saw there. It sounded like a hope reborn, everything starting afresh. I'd love you to fill us in with that New Year message from your principal.
Yes, to farm Senator Prince Bassey Otu, as you agree, is someone that is highly spiritual. He's a pastor in his own right. And if you listen to that message, he's not just wishing himself a good year, because for us, this year is the year of his own divine fulfillment. Because with our support, Senator Prince Bassey Otu is counting this to take over Cross River State leadership. But if you listen to that message, his prayers are not just for himself, his prayers are for all Cross Riverians. And he went further to reiterate the fact that he has presented himself for support. And he made mention of antecedents to be the barometer of voters determining who they should vote for. And he also cautioned us that it will be a time with destiny, because it will determine what will happen to our children moving forward. It will determine what will happen to our families, our friends, and even generations unborn. It will determine what will happen to Cross River as a state. That is March 11 elections. And for me, I think that is a message of hope. I think that is a message of reassurance. I believe that is also a message of confirmation of good things and better days to come.
Okay, excellent. Now, Ekpenyong, this is the much awaited year politically in the lives of a whole lot of Nigerians and indeed Cross Riverians. 2023 is here, and this is the first day. What does this year mean to your principal?
Yes, it means a lot. It means a finality. Don't forget that Senator Bassey Otu has been within the political sphere for a long time. Right from 1999, which created our nascent democracy, where we had His Excellency Donald Duke emerge as the governor of Cross River State. Now, after that 8 years, we've been waiting 16 years running, because power moved to central and later to the north presently. And why I said a period of finality, a year of finality, for Senator Otu from 1999, though he was not in power directly, in 2003 he became a House of Representative member representing Odupani Calabar Municipality Federal Constituency, and he had a good stint, 2 years, 2 tenure stint of 8 years. And he moved on to the Senate, and he also tried to return to the Senate, and unfortunately he was unable to return. And he also tried again to return in 2019. He never returned. Now, those were preparatory grounds for this year. Now, this year is the year where he will now become the governor of Cross River State by the special grace of God and with the love and support of Crossvarians, because I know Crossvarians love good things. Prince Otu is an embodiment of what is good. He symbolizes equal opportunities for all. He represents meaningfulness. So for me, this year will create an ambience, an opportunity for that conclusion of political direction, or political ambition, or political representation, because he has been representing us ever since 2003, and he did not do badly. The records are there. The people can see for themselves. You can feel, the leadership of Prince Otu everywhere, at all levels. The high and low can attest to meaningful leadership. So this year is symbolic, because the Back to South advocacy, the Back to South reality, the demand of rotational politics will be given birth this year. So for us, this year will be a year, like I said earlier, of divine fulfillment of the expectation, of the request, of the demand and yearnings of not just the Cross River Southern people, but the entire people of Cross River State. Because you've listened to Prince say he will bring together a prosperous Cross River where the gains of democracy will be sustained and consolidated. And he did not just talk about gains of this present leadership, but when you talk about gains of democracy, that means all the democratic gains, even before now. He will populate the value chain of this administration, especially in the angle of industrialization. And he also said he had a lot of passion for education, because when you educate the mind, you liberate the mind from hardship, poverty, and all that you have. So for me, this year is indeed going to be a year of total fulfillment, divine fulfillment, and we can't wait to see that.
Definitely. Okay, now, like, what would be, look like a Christmas gift? We saw a letter from distinguished Senator John Waneno bringing the Supreme Court pursuit to an end. I'd love you to inform Cross Riverians on that, because there's been a long battle since after the primaries, from the first to the higher court, and now we saw a letter that looked like a letter from Father Christmas, saying, I have hands off the Supreme Court, pursuit. Talk to us about on this.
Now, I have a triangular commendation. A triangular commendation because at first, at the top, I want to commend Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our incoming president by the special grace of God, who is the person who interfered, directly with the situation. Now, the other leg of the triangle goes to His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State, who drew the attention of Asiwaju into what has been going on in the state. And the other final leg is to Senator John Waneno, because if a man is appealed to, it is left for the man to either accept or not accept. Having accepted, he has the other leg of commendation. Don't forget, Waneno, distinguished senator, is a career politician who had seen it at all strata of politics. He was a member of the Cross River State House of Assembly, and he moved on to be member of the House of Representatives, the Green Chamber, and later the Red Chamber as a senator. He had moved from state parliamentary representation to federal representation and national. When I say federal, the Green Chamber do both national, but different legs of representation. So he's exposed his experience, and he's also connected. And don't forget, him and Senator Bassey too have been colleagues. Prince Otu is a Green Chamber parliamentarian and a Red Chamber parliamentarian. So for me, that decision Waneno took, distinguished Senator Waneno took, like you said, is very heartwarming. It's also very refreshing. It's also a welcome development at this time, because the real political temperature will be heightened now that we're in January. And it will not make sense that we cross over to the new year in disunity. Having crossed over to the new year in harmony and in unity, I think we are going to be stronger, because we now have a common opposition that we'll now be able to deal with as a party. So for me, I thank the leadership of Cross River State APC. I thank our presidential candidate and his team. I also thank Senator John Waino for that withdrawal, because take it or leave it. Either we win at the Supreme Court, as we're expecting to win, but the distraction, the inconveniences, even the finances would have been something not good enough. So we are indeed very happy, and I must commend, like I said, the triangular leadership.
Okay, now let's look at that letter that came in some days back. Some people are saying that he may be more like a mole for the opposition party. How do you intend to ensure that there is total reconciliation and consolidation moving forward?
It's not always good to speculate and assume or be unnecessarily pessimistic. None of us have been given any brief by Senator John Waino. And whether you are imagining what you don't know, it is not your business as far as I'm concerned, because that will come from people that are critics, people that are anti-APC. We in the APC, as far as I know, Senator John Waino and Senator Bassey are in good communication, and the party leadership and Senator Waino are in good communication. We, their followers, are in good communication. And in the coming days, you see all of us in the campaigns. So I don't see a senator, a man of that level, and considering the level of intervention from the national, being a mole. I see him as someone that will be able to deliver not just the Tumula government that it comes from, but even the entire central, because you agree that it's a force to reckon with. Don't forget he contested the last governorship election, and he had friends, he had followers, sympathizers. So I don't see him being anything short of what would be good for us.
Excellent. Okay. Now, on Tuesday last week, we had a sad situation in Calabar during the Bikers Parade. Some lost their lives, some were seriously injured and are hospitalized. We are aware that your principal was there. Would you mind talking to us on that?
Yes, let me say that it was indeed a very dark day and very painful circumstance, because people were in good spirits and that occurred. And let me also put on record that the politics that is being played around what happened should be completely disabused, should be completely disregarded. And we must, as a people, look beyond politics when it comes to the lives of Cross-Riverians and Nigerians. When people's lives are involved, politics should be secondary, it shouldn't be primary. Why I'm saying so is because PDP leadership, even the Caterpillar movement, fell on that and began to play politics. Nobody will plan an accident that will take that number of lives, young people, pregnant women. Nobody will plan that. And you know too well that our people are naturally very stubborn. Even where there are restrictions, they still try to intrude and invade. Even during the carnival day, I witnessed people who were driving at where they asked them not to drive in. So it was a clear accident, and we must accept that. No government will wake up and plan accident to kill the citizens. Having said that, the distinguished Senator Bassey too had to suspend his political activities. If you notice, since after that incident, nothing has happened within our campaigns because of the family of the people that passed on and were critically injured. I was with him in company to see people. You could see the level of hope. You know, when you're in pain, the people that come around, you can give you hope. So for me, it was one of those things we know Senator Bassey too off. As someone who knows how to mourn when you're mourning with you, he mourns with you when you're mourning, and that's leadership. Because I remember one of those people who were there in the family who said that for Senator Tu to come to them, because he would have said, what is my business? That means he has a human heart. And he prayed for Senator Bassey too. And I'm also aware, because the community, the other communities, our political domain, the Council of Ward 1 was with us, And our Guba candidate even went further to say that beyond that visit, we are interested in following up with their bills and ensuring that things are properly done. Because that circumstance was an emergency circumstance. Most of those families never get monies for treatment. So for us, it was a very sad situation. But we're happy that our governorship candidate was able to blaze the trail. Because after we went there, other people realized the importance of coming to the hospital to say sorry.
Okay, so however, when the suspension is being lifted, what are we looking at in terms of campaigns?
Yeah, there will be
the elections is a few weeks away from.
Yes,
from
I'm
now.
aware that the leadership of the party are putting everything in order in terms of a properly constituted campaign council that will be made public, and there's also going to be a timetable of campaigns where we hit the ground running. And I see a campaign that will begin without stopping into the election, because the election is not far away. And I also believe that Cross-Riverians already know everyone that is running election. And there are a lot of pockets of meetings, consultation, and consolidation ongoing. Don't forget our incumbent governor is a senatorial candidate of the North. And that is no underdog. He's a former senator of the Federal Republic, and is a sitting governor, and is a senatorial candidate. So you could expect that the North will feel his presence for the election. In the Central, the sitting speaker is our senatorial candidate. You could expect that the Central people will feel him. The member Abiyako, the sitting member, is the one running back in Abiyako Federal Constituency. In the South, our Commissioner for Finance, who is a senatorial candidate, and who has been able to be representing even the Presidential Campaign Council to show his capacity. And I wouldn't want to talk about the personage of Senator Baswitu, who is a governorship candidate, a mighty Iroko in politics. So we are sure that our campaigns will bring to speed a lot of actions. We have a youthful deputy governor, very friendly, and he's also very dynamic and ebullient. So why I'm mentioning this category of people is to remind you of the contents of candidates that the APC, will be presenting. Lego Idagba, Jude Ngaji, Emily Young, those are our rest candidates, So for me, Deputy Speaker is the one running in the Kalabasa Bakassi Paboyo. These are very active. Mike Itaba, continue. So when you gather, those kind of politicians, and you add up to the likes of Senator Ndamegba, Senator Florence Itagewa, Senator Stephen Ode, nobody is left in Cross River. So we're on track, and I know we'll win. And when we win, we'll welcome the PDP to the APC.
Okay, so let's quickly bring this home as we anchor. Let's get your message. Moving into the campaigns as build up to the 2023 election, let's get your message for Cross Riverians, especially this New Year message.
The message is simple. Love should be our watchword, and we should be more interested to ourselves as brothers, knowing the election will come and go within a very short while, and we must be together to develop our state. We should also try our best to look beyond political parties and consider individuals and consider antecedents and ask questions, create opportunities where there are balance of arguments. Never you conclude on hearsays and rumors, because at the end of the day, if you make mistake by casting your vote wrongly, that will be a generational disaster. It is the turn of the South for equity, for fairness, not just the turn of the South. Turn of the South with competence, turn of the South with credibility, turn of the South with accessibility. With Prince Otu, I believe Cross River State will be greater.
I must thank you so very much indeed, Barrister Ekpenyong Akuba, Media Aide to Prince Otu, Guba candidate for the APC here in Cross River State. Thank you so very much, and we hope that, as usual, you always find time to join us here on set to talk more about your principle and the political party.
I must commend you, our own Joseph Ian, and your crew, having sustained this program. We've been following you, and I can assure you that the sky will not just be your limit for your stepping stone.
Thank you so very much. What a hope renewed there. Thank you so very much. And this is where we would be bringing the show to an end. It's been a back-to-back interview. First we had with His Lordship Bishop Dr. My Song, as we looked at the religious leaders and followers, how ready are they for the 2023 elections. And also we had to take some time out to look at the itinerary of Senator Bassey Edet Otu, the Prince. This is where we are going to hang the boat. We will be back next week, Sunday, God willing. Remember, the political times are here, and every Sunday we'll be getting more robust and engaging as ever before. My name is Joseph Ian. Happy New Year. Good night.